Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and joining me on the podcast today is a special guest, Neda Anvar.
Hello.
How are ya?
I'm very excited to be here.
Making her TMZ podcast debut.
No, it's my second time.
Making her follow-up appearance back by popular demand.
Mm-hmm. Everyone was begging. They're like, bring the little one back.
Bring the little one back. So what does the little one do at TMZ?
I am a tour guide / sometimes on-air talent / social media coordinator for the tours.
Interesting, nice.
Very weird dual position.
And you got a bit of an influencer yourself. I see you on TikTok doing good things.
Okay, yesterday it was said that I had millions of followers. I have like 40,000.
40,000, not bad, Neda. Let's get that up to 40,001. Surely someone out there will follow Neda.
40,001, yeah.
Okay, Neda. Well, we got some stories to discuss today.
Yes, oh my God.
We're going to discuss Chase Chrisley because he's been named as a suspect in an assault at a bar.
Crazy.
Maybe he wants to go and join his parents behind bars because it's headed that way.
Why? When your parents are behind bars, why wouldn't you be more careful?
I agree. We'll also talk about Ryan Reynolds because he gave a public speech and kind of talked a bit about the Blake Lively drama with Justin Baldoni.
Very subtly.
Very subtly, but it was there. To begin with, though, awful, tragic story happening over here in LA. There are fires burning down big parts of the surrounding neighborhood, particularly in the Pacific Palisades.
Right.
Pacific Palisades is like quite an affluent area, home to lots of celebrities. And the images we got overnight, both from just cameramen, but also celebrities kind of documenting the fires themselves. It's truly horrific.
It's horrific, and it's like something LA people are not used to. We're so used to chill vibes here, and we're not used to disaster. It rains a little, and everyone freaks out. So this is almost unreal.
Yeah, and like just the smoke in the air when you're going to work, and
you still smell like smoke right now.
I smell it. I mean, that's from something else, but yeah, I mean, it's just awful. So some of the folks that live in the Pacific Palisades who are, defending their homes.
A-listers.
Tom Hanks.
Ben Affleck. Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, Steven Spielberg. Michael Keaton. Miles Teller. So many.
I also didn't even know they were all neighbors.
Yeah.
So
Pacific Palisades is a beautiful part of the world. Right next to Malibu, which also has its fire issues. There are also fires raging in Altadena. If you're not from LA, the winds we have had the past 24 hours have been crazy.
So strong.
You'll
be walking, and if you're as little as me, you feel like the wind's just going to take you away.
The wind just picks you up, Neda.
Yeah, it did yesterday.
So Chet Hanks, Tom's son, took to Instagram, said the neighborhood I grew up in is burning to the ground right now. Pray for the Palisades. Mark Hamill talked on his social media, talking about his evacuation. He said he was fleeing for his life.
That's the craziest part. So it's one thing to almost lose your house or to have lost your house. I know that some have already lost their houses. But to say that your life is in danger, that's a whole new level of terrifying. So these celebrities, even their lives are in danger. It's not just their houses. Some of them are stuck.
Totally. And you see like some of the sort of evacuation footage where they're in their cars driving kind of through the flames. It's a scary, scary thing.
Especially for them. Usually they have like butlers, limo drivers, all of this stuff. And now they're like having to drive through fires by themselves.
Well, we know of one celebrity who definitely lost their house. Spencer and Heidi Pratt.
Right.
They lost their house. They have a house in I think it's in Malibu, Pacific Palisades sort of border. They had to evacuate and now everything they had is gone.
No preparation. You wonder how much assets were in there.
Yeah.
Do they have a backup plan? Who are they going to go stay with? Do they have another house?
Yeah. And I mean, their house was kind of famous. Spencer, they'd always do their sort of Instagram and TikTok from their house. Spencer Pratt has those hummingbirds. Have you seen all those hummingbirds that Spencer Pratt's always hanging out with?
I wasn't even thinking about the birds.
Where are poor hummingbirds? I don't know.
That's
Where do hummingbirds fly when it's fire? I don't
Yeah,
know.
what about their celebrity pets? Oh my gosh.
Celebrity pets.
Some celebrities have like alpacas.
Yeah, true. True. Pray for the alpacas.
No, seriously.
But very interesting story though developing out of the fires was that Ben Affleck evacuated his home and went over to Jennifer Garner's house.
This is a terrible time, but him going back to Jen Garner is like so it's like so metaphoric. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like symbolic.
Well, I mean, they've got
Like-
kids together, so it's understandable that like
Yes.
the family wants to be together in a tough time. But
But it's like the symbolic fire of like him and Jennifer Lopez and him like symbolically kind of like emotionally going back to Jennifer Garner, and now it's like a real fire and he's like
True.
physically literally going back to her house.
Well, it's unclear if Ben's solo pad is okay or not. But yeah, he's shacking up with his family right now. Which I mean, I think these sort of times do sort of bring you together, maybe literally, but also sort of emotionally. Yeah.
And the thing is, her house is in danger a little bit,
Well,
right?
she's in Brentwood, I think, which is the next suburb over. It goes Malibu, Palisades. Brentwood's the next one coming over. So
So if her house is burned down, you think they're gonna go to Jennifer Lopez's?
I doubt that very much. But yeah, horrible. Hopefully they can get this fire situation under control soon because yeah, it's just a developing horrible story.
It's horrible.
Okay, on to our next story. Chase Chrisley,
Right.
son to Julie and Todd, who are serving years behind bars for financial crimes. Well, he's now the suspect in an assault. So the alleged assault went down at a popular sports bar in Atlanta. Cops had to be called because allegedly Chase Chrisley got super drunk.
Mhm.
And when the owner of the bar told him to knock it off, then he told him to leave because Chase wouldn't knock it off.
Right.
Allegedly, Chase slapped the general manager of the bar twice in the face. Twice in the face.
Okay.
2 slaps. There were no injuries or anything like that, but the cops had to be called. And now, like, Chase might join his parents. Probably not for that long, but because it was 2 slaps. But I mean, that's an assault. That's an assault.
Okay,
brother.
but we've seen these. Is it like a Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills type slap, or what kind of slap was it?
A double slap is.
It wasn't a punch, at least.
It wasn't a punch.
Slap is very.
Don't you think a slap is very Chrisley of him to do?
Yeah,
Like,
it's very. Yeah.
It wasn't a full-on punch. It was just a simple slap.
Something his dad would do.
It's something his dad might do. But yeah, it's just obviously this family's already going through it. There's lots of kids, and for one of the brothers to be getting in legal trouble now amidst his parents are going to be away for the next 5 years plus, both of them. Not good.
You would imagine you'd be extra careful wherever you go and whoever you deal with. When your parents are in jail, you got to be a little smarter than that.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
And then there's the whole thing of celebrities and them thinking that they have some kind of higher stance than people and not listening to authority ever. We just saw the Real Housewives of New Jersey woman at Jersey Mike's refusing to be a normal person.
That was hilarious. Yeah, the Jersey Mike's Karen. She was complaining about her sandwich. That was it is one of those cases where celebrities do sometimes think that they've got more privilege and more rights than the next person,
and they react crazier than normal people.
This Chase guy, like watching their reality show, he always seemed like a bit off the walls.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did this surprise me?
No,
not really.
But
am I disappointed in him? Yes.
I love a good Chrisley story though. I'm glad the Chrisleys are back in the news. I always like talking about them.
That's true. I do wonder if his parents are disappointed or like, good job, son, holding up the reality TV for.
True. Okay, on to our final story. Ryan Reynolds has talked publicly kind of about what his wife's going through. So he was at an event for the Wicked movie.
Right.
He was introducing the movie and he took the opportunity to talk about, the 2 stars of Wicked, both women. And so that was his springboard to talk about women in the workplace and how they need to be taken more seriously.
This was this seemed very calculated.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not in a bad way, but he knew this was his one chance to make a statement without making a statement to Baldoni.
True. Let's have a listen to some of what he had to say.
Stories about women seem to be held to a different set of standards, and that is to say that they're often held to the standards women are held to in life. You must be perfect, you must hide your strength, you must shapeshift or placate. But Donna Langley and Universal, they know where and with whom to place their trust, and it paid off in this film.
So, Neda, you're a woman.
Yes. Yes.
What do you think about what Ryan has to say? Like, he's defending his wife. Great. But what do you have to think about what he has to say, like, almost in general about how, a woman in the workplace might be held to a higher standard?
I mean, everything he's saying is true, and I like him continuing this narrative, and it's a narrative that's huge in Hollywood right now. And then a part of me is like, how much of this is for the statement, and how much of this is like petty and for Blake and for the lawsuits, and like, was this for Blake or was this for woman?
Yeah,
I don't know, but I like what he said.
It was for Blake because he didn't say it a different time, or maybe he has said something like this in the past, and it's just news now because it's news now.
Yeah,
but,
now all of a sudden he's a feminist hero,
right? I just think, Blake is obviously, from all reports, just a strong-willed woman who butted heads with, this Justin Baldoni, who strikes me and is talked about like as a bit of like a hippy-dippy, off the walls, a bit eccentric, doesn't know where the line is, maybe.
Sounds like you.
That does sound like me, actually. Dashingly handsome.
I think you know where the line is. Yeah, though, I think.
But I
dashingly handsome.
I think that maybe Blake probably tried to sort of push her agenda as much as she could for this movie, whatever she felt was the right thing to do in this movie. And that did not go over well. And I think that was kind of the problem here, is that Blake was, felt like she was like the boss bitch on set. And she is, to some respect. But Justin Baldoni also felt the same.
Yeah, she knew her name was Blake Lively, and she went with it.
Yeah.
She's a bigger name than Baldoni.
I think that's right.
And it did not end up going well for her.
Right. Well, I mean...
And also, do you think that her and Ryan had meetings about this one speech? Like,
yeah.
He
would have
did
run
they bring
his
the PR
line.
person in there?
Definitely PR person. Definitely. I mean, this is all... That's what you don't know what is genuine and authentic in times like this, when there is a big PR campaign from both parties to make themselves look like the good guy.
This is his first time kind of coming out and taking Blake's side publicly,
True.
right? He was staying quiet.
He was staying quiet, but he did argue with Justin in person, reportedly.
On the set.
I think at Justin's apartment one day when he was saying, "Don't call my wife overweight." Not, you know what I mean?
But it was during filming?
It was after filming. It was like a crisis PR.
Oh, wow.
I like it. Look,
then Justin said he was like screaming, yelling,
Yes.
and then Ryan says, "No, I was literally just like
Yes.
being stern."
But this is his first like out in public. And good on him for defending his wife.
I think so too. If this was him defending Blake, which I think it was,
You have to.
you have to. And I would. It's such a weird situation, but I would be disappointed in him if he stayed quiet the whole time just to protect his career.
True.
So I go back and forth with this whole situation.
Okay, let's read out some of your comments now. On the LA fires, Ian Rogers says, "Oh my gosh, the pretentious Hollyweird is on fire. Damn, that's sad. Oh my gosh, they have insurance." That's actually some of the narrative from people outside LA and outside the rich, affluent areas, is that rich people kind of like, sorry. But I mean,
sorry, not sorry type attitude.
I actually think that's like not a great attitude. You know what I mean?
I agree. Like, I find myself making little jokes here and there, but when we find out that their lives are in danger, it's not something to be joked around with. But I also get the whole, pretentious Hollyweird is on fire type thing.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Shelby Lewis asks what started the fires. They don't know right now, but the winds is what spread them. Heather says, "Shout out to Spencer's hummingbirds. Hope they made it out safe. I love watching those videos."
That's the number one thing we're worried about, the hummingbirds.
Those videos are amazing that Spencer does. I'm praying for the hummingbirds. Glocks and Grippers says, I visited the area once. The nicest people. I pray for them all. Thank you, Glocks. On Chase Chrisley, Justin Harris says, we should ask the true expert Will Smith about what qualifies for a slap.
Why
True.
did we not reference that? That was so smart, Justin.
The fact that Chris Rock didn't sue or have, try to place any charges against Will Smith for that, what a hero. He could have easily sued the guy and won. We all saw it.
Yeah, but it saved Chris Rock's career.
Yeah, that would have been a bad look. On Ryan Reynolds, Darren says, Ryan can be cancelled and release a new Deadpool movie and all will be forgiven. Yeah, he's got a lot of goodwill, Ryan Reynolds.
That's true. That is so true. Everyone forgets about everything.
I know, everybody moves on from everything.
He's going to be fine.
Everyone's going to be fine if you give us like a good song or a good movie or just something we like next and we'll forget everything. I mean, look at Kanye.
Look at Ariana Grande. I mean, Kanye isn't better.
What did Ariana Grande do wrong?
Well, Ariana Grande, everyone hated her after Ethan Slater. Like when news was coming out that she is now with Ethan Slater, who has left his wife. Now everyone's like, oh, Ariana's so cute and frail and a fairy.
I think that could be used to describe you, actually.
I'm not frail.
I actually think that just the chorus of Ariana Grande supporters is louder right now because it's her moment. But once she has a misstep again, us trolls will come out and we will slam her again, probably unfairly.
Watch out, Ariana.
And finally, on miscellaneous comments, MM says, Charlie Cotton, you are the magic in this podcast. You do so well alongside any co-host.
I didn't know me and you were allowed to leave comments.
Oh, yeah. Do you think I just left that quickly while we were doing the podcast? Thank you, MM. MM is actually one of our biggest listeners, most frequent commenters.
Stands for Mystery Man.
Mystery
it's
Ma'am.
Cotton.
Could be Mystery Ma'am.
Just kidding.
Thank you, MM. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Neda. That was great. Neda like feta, right?
Yeah. Rhymes with Feta also goes by Neda World Peace because they used to play basketball and had anger issues on the court.
Oh, you had anger issues on the court too?
Yeah.
I can see that, like short but feisty.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you for joining us, guys, and we'll see you here tomorrow.
Yay!